guys, it's your girl Nikki and welcome to my channel. As you know guys, I do health, I do fitness, I do beauty, and occasionally I do a little vlogging. And today I wanted to showcase some of the ideas that I've gotten from reading a lot of books. I've been feeding my soul, my spirit with a lot of books and motivational videos, and I've also, by doing that, have changed my mindset. And in changing your mindset, then it can really have an effect on your life. And I've realized that the life that you want to live can certainly be yours if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have time freedom, if you want to just do what you want to do. There's nothing that you can't do, but everything starts with the mind. And so if you want to hear my tips, stay tuned. Now don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for when I get new videos posted. And I'm going to give you 10 tips minimum of how you can change your life for the better. Every battle is won and fought in the mind, and that is certainly true. So a man whose thoughts are of defeat is already twice defeated. And so my first tip is talk and dress as if you are $1 million earner.
Dressing like $1 million earner is simply looking your very best at all times.
Have you heard the expression that first impressions last? Well, the first impression that anybody has of you is unfortunately what they see. And if they see somebody who is well dressed and that person is put together, that is going to convey confidence. That's going to convey that this person is somebody I can trust. This person is somebody who's going places. And so when you talk as if you're a millionaire and you dress as if you're already a millionaire, your battle is already halfway won. Now, if you open your mouth and prove that you are not what you look like, well, that's another issue. So you always have to go with your image, and it also has to go with whatever you feed your mind will come out of your mouth. Garbage in, garbage out. My next tip is,
the enemy outside cannot harm you if there's no enemy within.
If there's no enemy within, then the enemy outside of you, they have no chance to harm you. And what I mean by that, I already spoke about having adversaries. You may have persons in your life, even your inner circle. It could even be your siblings who don't want the best for you. And they will secretly do things to sabotage you. They're low-key haters. And they may want to attack your marriage. They are jealous of the kind of car you drive, the job that you have. And so you have adversaries all the time, but those adversaries have no power over you if you don't have an enemy within. And many of us, our enemy is ourselves, our thought patterns. We tell ourselves sabotaging things that prevent us from completing our goals. For example, you want to lose weight, right? But then you tell yourself, maybe I just have that one cheeseburger. Maybe I just have that one cheesecake slice. And before you know it, you have talked yourself out of your goals. And you have set yourself back 3 weeks, even though you've gotten up every morning to exercise. And so if there's no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do you no harm. The third tip.
A wise man leaves behind wealth for his children to inherit.
I'm talking about residual income. I'm talking about that Will Smith money, that Michael Jackson money, that Bob Marley money. And so what I mean by that is, have you ever worked at a job that once you've left that job, you get nothing from that job? All those years that you have worked there has just been those years. Think of residual income. It pays you for past work. So even if you never work another day in your life, you could be in your sleep earning money.
Next tip is winners always expect to win. Here's a chart that shows the difference between a winning mindset and a loser mindset.
Winners always expect to win because winning is a habit. Have you ever had a mindset where you already thought, oh my God, I wanted to invest in this business, but I have no money? A winner always thinks that, okay, I don't have the money, but how can I get the money. And it takes me back to this book that I bought called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in this book, the author speaks about having two dads. One dad that spoke about money as if he was poor. He always talked about money as if it was lacking. And another dad as if there were worlds of possibilities with that money. And so he ended up following the rich dad's mindset. And that was what propelled him to be one of those successful persons who have sold over 33 million copies of this same book. And so winners, they have this winning mindset, and winning therefore becomes a habit. So anything they do, they always expect to win, and they usually do. But if you go in with that mindset that you're going to lose, guess what's going to happen? That usually happens.
Tip 5 is do today what others won't so that you can have tomorrow what others don't.
Tip is you've got to do today what others won't do so that you can enjoy what others don't. And that also goes along with that winning mindset. If you're going to work hard today and set aside that money, then for sure your future is guaranteed. And so there's some persons who just want to sit around on their loins. They want to depend on others. They don't want to work hard. And so the work that they're not willing to put in, they're not going to get that result. But those persons who toil and they put in that work and they do the things that others won't, they usually have the things that others don't because of that mindset. There's another thing that I learned. You become the average of the people you surround yourself with. If you're around 9 broke people, guess who's going to be the 10th broke person? You guessed it, you. But if you surround yourself with 10 persons who are of a similar mindset, they have that go-getter mentality, they are reading their books, they're enriching their minds, they're going after their goals, and they're winners, they're high achievers, guess who's going to be that 10th person? If you were on those 9 persons, you're going to be that 10th person. And so you have to be careful of the persons you surround yourself with. And some of those persons will talk you out of a good idea. They will talk you out of your success. And some persons, because they don't train themselves to think for themselves and they always listen to what others tell them, they always have that tendency to lose out on opportunities. The word poor means persistently overlooking opportunities repeatedly.
Traditionally, being poor is when you have no money. But when we speak about poor in terms of mindset, it means that person usually have a tendency to not seize opportunities. And by not seizing opportunities like the rich-minded person would, it leaves them in a state of poverty.
What I learned is if you're gonna be a world-class person, you can't compromise on your integrity. Integrity is something that you have to hold dear to you. Integrity is something that really brings kind of karma to you. And so if you are somebody who plots against people, who doesn't always do the right thing, the universe always repays you with that wrong thing that you do. And so I use the example of if you go to the shop and you buy something and the clerk gives you $2 more than you should get, the ordinary person will say to themselves, it's just $2, I don't have to give them back. Or somebody dropped their $1,000 and you just pick that up and say, oh, this is my lucky day. There are certain things that come back to you, and so when you just do the right thing, you give that person back the change when you didn't have to. Those are the little things that, they go towards shaping your integrity. And once you start to compromise your integrity on the little things, then it becomes a habit, and then ultimately you compromise on the bigger things. And then guess what? You don't have a reputation that people can say that I can trust you. And when I think about integrity too, I also think about a marriage. A marriage is built on trust. Relationships are built on trust. And there's a saying that I also like. If there's no trust in a marriage, it's like a car without gas. You could sit in it all day, but it will not take you anywhere. And so integrity is a part of trust. And if you love somebody who has integrity, you'll always trust them. And so I know somebody out there got that valuable nugget. Remember, your girl told you. The next one I want to spill. I'm spilling some nuggets today. You cannot escape a prison if you don't know you live in it. And what I mean by that is some persons, they just have this mindset that is so negative, or they are just their own dream killers. And they don't realize the damage that they do if they are an alcoholic, or if they are, somebody who cheats. I don't know what it is. Whatever vice it is, that person will not get out of that prison if they don't know that they're in it. And so they'll always be doing the same thing because they're not aware of their actions. And so it's always good to be aware and to feed yourself with that knowledge that lets you look at yourself in a different light, and then you'll be able to come out of that prison mindset and evolve. You know those persons who you haven't seen them for like 10 years, and then when you meet them, nothing's changed. Those are those persons I'm talking about. They haven't gotten out of that prison mindset because in their mind, they're not in a prison. Another one is be committed to your goals. Ask yourself, if it took 10 years to achieve your goal, would you still stick to it? And do you know that many persons who don't succeed in life is because they are quitters? They quit on themselves, and they quit on something, especially when it gets too hard. And some of the things that I find to be very hard in life, or things that are very challenging, it could be a marriage. And many persons get divorced, the first sign of trouble. And I'm just using that as an example, but it doesn't only have to do with marriage. It has to do with if you invest your money and you see it's not panning out the first year, you decide, I tried it and it didn't work. But did you really try it? Did you really persevere? Did you really do everything that you needed to do? And so if you are committed to achieving your goal, and you know that it might take you 10 years, you have to make up in your mind that you are gonna stick it out. And those persons who really stick it out, they are the ones who really have success. The difference between a successful man and a poor man is his perseverance. Perseverance is something that separates the sheep from the goat. And I want to use an example. If you have a person who attended Harvard and becomes a dropout, and another person who graduates from Harvard top of his or her class, is it that Harvard is the bad product, or is it you? If one person could graduate and then the other one drop out, then there's no difference with the product. The only difference is you.
And tip number 10 is do not listen to what persons say, but instead really look at the things that they do.
Persons too is, some persons, they talk a good talk, but they don't walk the good walk. And so it's always better to judge what a person does rather than listen to what they say. And if they are a person who are a man or woman of their word, then that's a person that you should really stick close to. That person should be in your inner circle. And if you have a person in your life that is sort of a flake, or somebody you can't depend on, then guess what? That person is not somebody you can depend on. Too long into this video, I just wanted to give you some tips also about the different mindsets that persons who are rich have as opposed to persons who are poor. And the first one is, rich people, they always think abundance, while poor people, they always think about lack. And so if you think abundantly, you think about blessings, you think about wealth, guess what? The law of attraction tells you that this is going to come back to you. And this takes me back to another book that I just started reading, which is The Secret. And The Secret is, the subheading is The Secret Law of Attraction. It says everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. And it is attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind. It's what you're thinking. Whatever is going on in your mind, you are attracting to you. Rich people focus on opportunities while poor people focus on their obstacles. And so again, it has to do with mindset. If you are optimistic, if you're going to think about the possibilities rather than the negatives, negatives hold you back from your goals. Negatives talk you out of a good idea. Another one, rich people admire other rich and successful people, while poor people resent persons who are more successful. Rich people promote themselves and their value, while poor people are reluctant to even, showcase themselves. Rich people simply manage their money and they teach their children how to manage money. Whereas poor people, they have this mindset that, money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. And they don't think of money in a positive way. And they don't teach their children about money. The only time that they bring up money to their children is when they don't have it. And so their children grow up with that negative mindset that, money is a bad thing. But if you think about money as something that could even make a solid future for yourself, you could even help people with money. You can make the world a better place by having money. Can you do anything worthwhile without having money? And so it's a bad thing to really tell persons that money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil, not money in itself. Rich people also act in spite of fear, while poor people mindset, they let fear stop them. I know you guys found those nuggets very fruitful. I found them to be very fruitful. And by filling my mind with things like these, it really helps me to have a better self-image, and it helps me to just walk in anywhere and just feel confident. And persons read your energy. They feed off your energy, and they will join you in any venture that you're a part of because they just trust in you. And so some books I also wanted to leave with you guys that I'm reading. My next vlog, I would love to give you some insights into these other books. And this one is called You Are What You Think. And so if you're going to think a negative, poor, lacking mindset, then guess what? That's what you're going to be repaid with. Another book here is by Richard Carlson, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work. And I would go further to say, don't sweat the small stuff in life. The next book that is a short book for me to read is by Napoleon Hill, and it is entitled A Year of Growing Rich. And many millionaires who have that millionaire mindset, they have and read books like these. An author that I intend to read is Think and Grow Rich. And this is also by Napoleon Hill, and it's another mindset that rich people have, and it tells you to think of money as something good. It's that I've learned from it. Another book that is a book that can help anybody in their business. Many people go with persons who they like and trust. And so in order to win friends, you have to read a book like this, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And this is an older version, but he has a newer edition. And this is a must to read. And one tidbit that I saw in one of these chapters is just simply smiling. You will change your whole aura just by smiling. And people like persons who smile because that conveys to them that they like you, and persons like people who like them. And so do you see the connection, guys? The book that I love to read is by Eckhart Tolle, and it is Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Another book that I really want to read is Put Your Dream to the Test by John C. Maxwell. Put Your Dream to the Test by John C. Maxwell. 10 questions to help you see it and seize it. So no matter what goals you have, this will teach you how to attain those goals. And that's another great read. And so guys, if you love this video, don't forget to hit that bell, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you have any books that you are reading and any books that you want to recommend to me to read, or any other tidbits that you could have added or I could have added to this vlog, feel free to hit me in the comment section. I always want to hear from my subscribers. It's not a one-way street with us. And so guys, until next time, see you.